I can see that if we don't, if men are not restored into fathers, we are going to have a lot of criminals.
True.
People who are angry, because someone who's angry, you know, when we speak of gender-based violence, this thing has been birthed from this, from the people who are grown up angry. As this tree is standing like this, it represents the man.
Okay.
Not the father.
Okay.
This is the man.
The roots are up and
the roots
branches
are up, the branches are down.
Okay.
And now the mother and the children are pulling this tree to come to its position, to become a father. Sons must be trained, not just left to grow. Because if you don't train your sons and you let them to grow, it will become a problem.
So it becomes a vicious cycle where they do exactly what other men are doing out there.
Exactly. And when I raise sons with a purpose, they grow into fathers who lead with love and strength.
And the absence of a father brings kids to saying, ngifuna ukuba ikinza, because ubrabanbani bamsabi lokishini, he drives the latest car and all those, and all of those are as a result of the absence of a father.
This book can be a turning point, not just for a man, but the entire family.
Okay.
Yes, it touches, as you said, that it covers the whole family. So when men understood their role, women feel supported, and children feel secure, and families become strong again.
Dumelang, sanbonani, absheni, molweni, goeiemorgen, middag, bunjalo. Welcome to the podcast that is here to change lives. Podcast focused on building families, but a podcast that is mainly devoted in building fathers. Our aims and objectives are very simple. We want to raise fathers. We want to lift fathers. The title of men is known to everyone, but seldomly do we speak about fathers. Now, I'm not just doing this from thumb-sucking, but I'm doing this solemnly because I have a guide. And this is my guide. It's a very renowned book within our circles, which we would like to extend to many families, not only in South Africa, but that it should reach families all the way across Africa and overseas. We are trying to restore men into fathers. And I'm here today with the author of this very, I want to call it juicy, but it's so informative, it's directive, and it carries a lot of weight. I know this because it helped me. So I want to introduce my guest. Very clearly, I'm going to take from this book. Okay? I'm not going to talk about the book. She's going to tell us about the book. It's a she, just so you know. So the title is Restore Men into Fathers. And that's the title we go about in this podcast. We are restoring men into fathers, right? So I'm here with the author, Constance Tsakani Sono. She serves as a co-founder and visionary leader of Green Pastures Christian Church.
Yes.
As an ordained apostle, wife, mother, mentor, entrepreneur, and published author, she fulfills multiple roles with grace and purpose. Constance Ministry stands as a testament to the profound impact of a prophetic mantle and deliverance anointing, which have touched and transformed numerous lives. So you ought to join her on this journey of restoration and rediscovery as she imparts wisdom and divine guidance to families. So, like I said, we are all about touching everywhere, from Papa, Mama, and the children. This is a book that is aimed at building a collective. You know, as we grow up, we are always looking up to Ubaba, Umama to keep things together, but we neglect also our role as kids in trying to make sure that those roles are well fitted and maintained, and they run smoothly. So here's my guest, Apostle Tsakani Constance Sono.
Sono.
Mama, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I don't want to give too much away. I want people to go into the book, because this book tells so much about what you've gone through, what you've been through, family background, but it touches more on the solutions that you give to the community. So just maybe on top of your mind, can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, good day, viewers. In the name of Jesus, Jesus loves you more, and we love you. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a grandmother, I'm an author, I'm an entrepreneur, and I love Jesus. I'm a child of God. Yes.
Okay.
That's who I am.
That sums it up. It's so quick, but I like it because it doesn't give away too much, but it makes whoever's sitting at home or watching this podcast
Yes.
to want to delve deep into the book. Personally, I read the book, and I remember when I read the book, I was going through something, and I've been going through this for a number of years and seeking that guidance. And not because, there are times where you hear something, but there are times when you're sitting in front of your answer. Mm-hmm. And this book became that answer, and it will answer many, many, many questions to many families. Mm-hmm. And I also understand that this book speaks to Ubaba who's in prison.
Yes.
It speaks to Ubaba who's looking for a job.
Yes.
It's speaking to Ubaba who's struggling to maintain his family. It speaks to Ubaba who's going through a lot, maybe even on the verge of divorce.
Yes.
And this book has done tremendous things for me. And I want to discuss, I'm going to go off a tangent here. I want to engage my guest today, but I want us to describe this. I know this is, I want us to talk about this tree here.
Okay.
I presume this is Umam.
Yes.
And these are the children.
Yes.
Then who's this?
As this tree is standing like this,
mm-hmm.
It represents a man.
Ah, okay.
Not the father.
Okay.
This is a man.
The roots are up and
the branches are up, the branches are down.
Okay.
And now the mother and the children are pulling this tree to come to its position.
Wow.
To become a father.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Because there are no benefits if the roots are up there.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be in the soil.
Yes. It's supposed to be in the soil so that the family can enjoy the fruits that will come from this tree.
Wow.
So how can we enjoy the fruits? How can we eat the fruits while the tree is upside down? So God showed me that this is a man. This is not the father. Men are like this.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That's profound. I mean, the title on its own, and now the cover page, this is really a depiction of men these days.
Exactly.
It's scary because this is so true. There are many men but few fathers.
Exactly.
And going by the title Indoda, we've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't serve anyone's interest except the one who's saying it.
Yes.
But now when this tree has been tended, there's shade, there's provision of food.
Yes.
It anchors.
There's
it even
protection.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's food. Men provide. Men protect. But now, not men protect. Fathers
protect.
Exactly.
Yes.
Fathers protect. But men doesn't care. So we have so many men, but we are short of fathers.
Wow.
So this woman is pulling this tree to come back to its position. And the children are helping the mother.
Mama, we are seeing a lot of this. We see a lot of women, carrying the weight of trying to keep families together. And I'm saying this because we see this often, and I'm sure that our viewers will concur with this, because many homes are short of fathers. If
Yes.
Ubaba is not hanging out with his friend, if Ubaba is not out there with a girlfriend, if Ubaba is not out there, trying whatever they're trying, but they're not in their position and they're hardly at home. Umama at home is trying to get things together, even to a degree, to protect the image of Baba engekho. And I've seen mothers do that quite often to try and make it look as if Ubaba is actively involved when he's not. And it's so profound, it's deep. And I'm glad, because I'm not speaking from just somebody who was sitting there and heard about it, but I've went through the book, and having gone through some of the things here, it's really life-changing. And I just wanted to even delve deep now, but not so deep. People must still purchase the book,
Yes.
and read it, pass it on to somebody, pass it on to the next person. If it returns to you, find somebody else to give it to. If not, refer them to the website, refer them to the contact so they can purchase the book
Amazon,
themselves.
Yes.
Exactly. So, but we will touch on that.
Yes.
Now, please just take us back now to, how did this come about? How did we get here? How did we get here to saying this book must be written?
Yeah, ne? This book, Lebo, was birthed out of a burden I've carried for many years as I work with families and communities. I've seen a lot of absence of fatherhood and leadership in the homes. And this leads to broken families, an identity crisis, and the cycle for dysfunction. So that's the reason why God put this vision in me that I must write this book. So Restore Men into Fathers is a tool to guide men back to their God-given role as a protector, providers, leaders, so that homes can be restored and generation can grow.
Yeah, I mean, because of your years in ministry, you do speak to families, and the church serves as a ground to bring back society to morality, and to fix these things. Because I'm sure in your journey as an apostle, a visionary, you've mended many families, and having gone through maybe even counselings with people, and you see and identify this, it would make sense for you to actually want this to reach many people, because most people don't. The typical man doesn't want to come to church. They don't see the purpose of coming to church.
Yes.
For them, church, yabo mama. And we are seeing a shortage of Abu Baba in the church. And that also speaks to the fact that you've mentioned identity crisis.
Yes. Cycle of dysfunction.
All those things.
Yes.
And they're all in the book, just so you know. All of these things are addressed in the book. And I'm touched by this, and I know for a fact that a lot of people are going to find themselves through this book.
Yes.
Because once things are twisted, once these gender roles are switched, there's a lot that's happening. And I know that throughout the lifespan of this podcast, we are going to touch on that, but I'm just taking advantage today because I have you. I know you're a very busy woman of God, and you've got a lot that you're doing. And I just want to take advantage of this moment with you to just touch on certain elements. So, Mama, do you feel like this is a turnaround maybe for families? I mean, having written this book, I know there are many other books maybe that address different issues, but coming from a minister and coming from your personal journey, because I think it's also a profound insight to the matters that really touch on families and the structures and the hierarchy of family. Like, do you feel that this is a turnaround, that this is a game changer in terms of family structure?
Yes, yes, I believe this book can be a turning point, not just for a man, but the entire families.
Okay.
Yes, it touches, as you said, that it covers the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
So when men understood their role,
Mm-hmm.
women feel supported, and children feel secure,
Mm.
and families become strong again. So it will be a turning point. It will help.
And that's very true, because I mean, we have all sorts of stigmas that are attached to the roles and attached to the hierarchy, and this book does really speak to that. And if ubaba is not in position, umama can't be in position.
Yes,
And abantwana can't be in position.
exactly.
Having been raised elokishini, or in the location, or in the city, I don't know how it would sit well with people, but wherever you've grown up, we have a prevalence of homes that are led by women, and the outcomes are usually what we see either in prison, what we see as what we call abafethu babiza ngabonyawo, and having men who are relaxed and who would rather have the wife go work and they sit at home, maybe watching Netflix and having fun.
Yeah.
It's I understand that that's the very reason why this tree has to be lifted up, because even now, I, for one, personally, how this book also impacted me, I had my firstborn son out of wedlock.
Yes.
Meaning that my presence in his life will be limited as
Yes.
compared to me being present in his daily life with the mother. And to a degree, I know that it's painful to raise a family when there are splits. And I do also understand that there's a difference between children who are raised within a family whereby there's a mother and a father in a home, whether be it Mjondolo or wherever, but the presence of ubaba is critical. And trying to raise a family outside of these dynamics is difficult. It's difficult. Me, when I tried to match this up, because this became a pivotal point in my life, having to engage myself in this book and say, you know what, we should have a program where I could be involved in this book. And you suggested, you know what, let's do the podcast. Let's have the podcast speak to men, because you've gone through some stuff yourself. And I know this because I'm a father.
Yes.
To 3 boys.
Okay.
And this is very important. If I was raising daughters, it would still be impactful, but it's more so important to me now because I'm raising sons.
Yes.
And having grown up without a father, there was no one to mirror what a father has to do. So I've had to navigate through fatherhood, making mistakes, and if there was no one to assist me, I'm sure I'd be in the worst state. So it goes without saying, your presence in my life and this narrative that this book is driving has helped equip and help me shape my role as a father. But it also struck fear to me, Uguti, if people don't get hold of this book, or if people don't get hold of you, how will they maneuver through raising their families? How do these men take up the role of fatherhood? Because young kids, teenagers are having abantwana. And they want to be called ubaba, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You touched on something here in the book where you spoke about your coming up as a young lady in high school and how you got your 2 daughters. Can we just say it all and maybe touch on that, because I know it's in the book and I know this is something you hold high, but I want us to speak to even a girl, who's out there and who thinks maybe if grant and the difficulties you had to go through and because isencwadini, but asenze khali nje sibakhalisele kancane nje.
I think it is very important to ask me that question, Lebo, because in our days, the time I was a teenager, we were told by our grandmothers that we're not supposed to talk to our mom about anything that involve boys.
Okay.
So that makes us to do things that we end up having children while we're still young, because no one was encouraging us or maybe teaching us that for you to do this when you have a boy, or maybe you are involved in a relationship with a boy, because by that time I was 15 years old when I got pregnant. And we tried to go to clinic, because if you have your friend, they so you'll talk, what must I do? And someone will say, go to the clinic and prevent and have this injection or pills, you know. So when you go to the hospital, the nurse there will say, where's your mother? And I can't go and invite my mother to accompany me to the clinic, because she will ask me, what do you want to do when you want to prevent?
And your grandmother said you shouldn't be talking to your mother.
Exactly.
Eish.
And even if you, when you look at your mom, you don't even know when you go, how are you going to start
Approach
this
it,
conversation of boys? So, we grew up in that environment that you're not supposed to talk anything that concerns sex with your parents. Like, we didn't have that chance to talk to our parents, because it's like it's an insult when you talk about those things. So it happens that I found myself in a relationship, and everything was done there, and I was not aware that when I do this, I'm going to get pregnant, and I started to change, and my parents noticed, my mom noticed that no, I think something is wrong with this child, and she took me to the doctor, and the doctor confirmed that I'm pregnant. I tried, man, a lot of things to remove this.
Because of the stigma attached to your pregnancy at 15, and now your parents.
I'm 15 years old. I'm young. Looking at my future, I ask myself, I have to sit home and I won't further my studies. I'm like, I'll be behind. Like, there were a lot of things that was happening in my mind. I remember my mom crying, what are you going to do with this child? Because you are young.
And you are the first daughter.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So, I ask my parents to forgive me. And yes, life continues, goes on. And God blessed me with my first daughter. And when I look at her, she was so beautiful. Even the nurses was like, is this your child? And I said, yes. This is, but you are dark and she's lighter. So I said, I don't know. Like, I didn't understand myself. I was like, am I living in this world where everyone is? Or where am I? Who's going to buy clothes for this?
Eish.
And mind you, by that time, I'm in grade 8.
I'm
That is why this is my cry of advising the teenagers that, you know what? No one hates you when your parents say to you, you must stay away from boys.
Yes.
Don't think of making love sexually before you get married.
True.
Because even that boy who say, I love you, we are both students, we are both learners. He does not have money, nothing. And he will want to test whatever he want to test on me, on you, And then after that, what happened? If you are in your days, you're menstruating, definitely you will fall pregnant. So it is my cry, Lebo, that girls must take care of themselves. They must not do what we did.
True.
Because sometimes you won't even get a chance to fix your life. Even myself, I thank God because it is Him who makes me to come back to my senses. If it was not for God, I don't know, maybe I'll be having 20 children
Eish.
or maybe 10 or 5. My life will not have direction. But I thank God for the grace of God because He found me.
Yes.
So here I am today.
You know, that's I'm pained by that because, you know, as you are talking now, I hear the struggles you went through. Now I'm questioning myself, Uti, because you were teenagers, and being teenagers, you have not come to age to say you're a woman, he's a man, he's still a boy.
Yes.
And it questions me because we even see this biblically, where the Pharisees get hold of this woman and they say she was caught in adultery.
But he was older than me.
Okay.
Because like he was 7 years
Is it?
older than me. Yes.
Okay. I mean, okay, those dynamics I would understand, but I also don't want to look at it from maybe scrutinize it to a degree, because time and place did offer that moment to actually happen. My cry is that where are the men or the because at that time it's not fathers, but I believe with the presence of a father, there should be some fear instilled in the young man or young boy into engaging in certain things. And usually the truth is that it leaves the girl trying to fend for herself, and the man just escapes. You know, she'll handle the pregnancy for 9 months, and if he feels good, you know what, I can't deal with this, they can move on to the next. And I think that's where we as men who are fathers now have to toe the line and really move in this direction of trying to say, you know what, enough is enough. We can no longer have young boys feeling like having sexual relations is a sport. When there's all sorts of things we could do. Young men could look into getting educated, finding employment, building their own empires, but they're chasing girls, which is what I did as well. It became a sport. But 15, a daughter, a family that's intact, because I understand you were raised by both parents.
Yeah.
And you understood their struggles, and it shocked you when you found out that you were pregnant, and now having to raise this child. Okay.
And it becomes a problem because now, as you grow together, you and your boyfriend having this child, he will end up not marrying you. And that is why we have a lot of children who are fatherless.
Oh my God.
Because of the mistakes that we do. We thought maybe when you are still at school, when a boy come to you and said, I love you, you just give all. And you forgot that you are still growing. And he will not marry you.
That's the truth.
It's rare that when you have a relationship with someone who you are still at school with, he can marry you.
There are no guarantees. There are no guarantees.
So that is why you find a lot of children, they don't have fathers. And we are raising a generation that is angry. And especially a boy child. Because boys want their identity. They want to know, where do I come from?
True.
You
so
know?
that takes me to the question, are you raising sons?
Yes. Not just my own biological children, but through a ministry and mentoring, and I'm raising sons by teaching young men integrity, responsibility, and the visions. Because sons must be trained, not just left to grow. Because if you don't train your sons and you let them to grow, it will become a problem.
So it becomes a vicious cycle where they do exactly what other men are doing out there.
Exactly. And when I raise sons with a purpose, they grow into fathers who lead with love and strength if we train them. Because today, Lebo, we have so many, I would say men. Men does not love, men does not protect, men does not provide. We have so many men than fathers. A father loves, a father protects. So if we don't train these young men, we are going to continue raising a generation of men, not fathers. So training is very important.
It's important, it's
Yes.
critical. It goes back to the mirror. If I don't have a mirror at home, one as a man turning into a father, I don't know how to love my wife. I don't know how to love my children.
Yes.
I just get there and I say, Baba seka fikile, lipi plate lam. I don't attend to the emotional part of my spouse, and that puts a distance between the husband and wife, and now the kids are able to see that and they grow up and think this is being a man.
And
Baba, look.
this thing, Lebo, it's so painful because as for now, I'm doing counseling at schools.
Okay.
And when I speak to a boy child, I think 90% of them, they will say they are angry because they don't know their fathers. So tell me, if a boy is maybe 14 years and he grew up knowing or hating the one whom he must call a father, and he said, I hate him because he don't even know my name, he don't even know what I have eaten today. So it's a burning issue, and I can see that if we don't if men are not restored into fathers, we are going to have a lot of criminals.
True.
People who are angry, because someone who's angry, you know, when we speak of gender-based violence, this thing has been birthed from this, from the people who are grown up angry. So even if they get married, they will love, they will exercise, they will, the anger, when the anger come, he want to kill someone. So it doesn't matter who is in front of him. He can kill even the children, he can kill the wife. That is why it's so simple for them, because they are growing up with this anger of identity crisis.
Yes.
They don't know the absence of the father, you know. So that's where the gender-based violence comes from. It is propelled by spirit, yes, but even the absence of the father has caused this thing.
That's true.
Because even look at if you can check, Lebo, and especially at schools, the boys are angry. Even when you are a teacher, you talk to a boy child, he will take you and put you up there at the ceiling. He does not care because he's angry. There was no one at home to coach him or to take care of him or to love him and to show him how must I handle myself as a boy child. Because a boy child is a leader tomorrow.
Yes.
We need fathers who will lead. But fathers are no more. There are men who are angry, men who are in jail. You know, there's a lot, Lebo. That is why God propelled me to write this book.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I see this because you having to raise sons, not only at home, but in ministry as well.
Yes.
So, you know, when you speak of anger and all those things, the presence of the church in the community is critical, because no other institution cares about families than the church. And you having been in a church space, you see these things. Like you said, you go to schools and you do counseling. And I've seen the profound work that you do in schools. And, you know, you extend your hand to a point where you say, you know what, let me buy you uniform. Let me buy you shoes. You don't have shoes. Okay, I'm going to buy you shoes. But the stories you come back and you tell us about, they are heartwarming. They make you want to cry. They make you want to, you know, have $1 billion so you can change lives. And, you know, even I myself, growing up as a young man, I didn't have, like I said earlier on, I didn't have someone to mirror this whole thing of being a boy. I remember my mother would go out and go work, come back. I'd go to school, come back. But I had 3 hours to do all the shenanigans I could do and learning all the bad things that I could learn because of the absence of a father. And I know that if there was a father in my life, there are certain ways I would have handled myself. Even the outcomes of certain things I did would have been different. Yes, I might have not gone to prison, but I also participated in things that could have landed me in prison. And, you know, I believe that with the direction where this podcast is going, we are going to impact lives. And I know that this book shouldn't just be read by ubaba or a man who's trying to become a father, but even a young boy and a mother, even a girl, because even girls need to have standards in terms of who they marry, who they accept a marriage proposal from. And not all families are designed to handle families, because there are certain topics or conversations that don't happen in the space of a home, because yes, ubaba ukhona, umama ukhona, abantwana bakhona, but if ubaba and umama don't have dialogues or conversations, sit around the table, yes, I know Uti, we don't have the luxury, maybe predominantly as brown people, we don't have the luxury of having a dining room where we all sit around the table and we ask Junior Lapanuti, how was your day at school? What do you want to be when you grow up? These are conversations that fathers have to have with their sons, even their daughters, you know. And the absence of a father brings kids to saying, ngifuna ukuba iginsa because ubrabanbani bamsabi lokshini, he drives the latest car and all those, and all of those are as a result of the absence of a father. Now, you know, we could go on, ma. I think, you know, you have to come back again. Because there are areas that I want us to go into, maybe even delve deeper, you know, but I'm happy that we've given people a taste, and no one will look at you from the perspective of being an apostle, a visionary, and think you're an angel. You've had a fair share of mistakes, but you changed your life. And I think maybe the next time you come through, I would like for us maybe to touch on areas of marriage and the experience you had with families, and what are these things that are really disturbing the process of family moving in one accord. And I know one thing's for sure, the absence of God, the absence of Christ in a family lends a lot of families to maybe in a platform where they don't desire to be there. And I want us to touch on that next time when you come through on the podcast. I think today would have been ideal for just an introduction, because we not only is Restore Men into Fathers going to be a podcast, it's going to touch people in communities. We already have adopted communities through the help of the foundation that our apostle is leading and running, and there's a lot. There's great work that needs to be done. There's work that's happening now, which by the help of God, we'll also document that, because I think viewers need to know that we are not just here trying, maybe someone is thinking they're trying to promote a book, they want sales. Yes, we want sales, but we know the impact that this book has. And I know from you being a visionary, the things that you're doing in the community, they are big.
Yeah.
I mean, I could name a few things, maybe just to, I've seen you, usiza umuntu ayokhipha ilobola. I've seen that. And usiza umuntu who wants to assume the position of becoming a father. And you didn't do it once, not even twice, not even thrice. You've done it many times.
Yeah.
Because I see, uti mama, you are inhliziyo yakho, your heart is, you don't like seeing a mess. You want things to be in order. But we'll touch on that. We'll touch on that in the future.
Exactly.
And, you know, with that said, we Restore Men into Fathers is what we go about.
Yes.
And you will get in touch with us on our TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, where you see the charitable works that we do. You will be in touch with us also on WhatsApp. If there are stories you want to share, how you transformed your life, the background that you had, and where you are now. And if you are also crying out and saying, you know what, I'm a man, and I've got kids and I've got a wife, but I haven't assumed the position of being a father, we want you to also keep in touch with us. Then we can connect you with Apostle. And she's done a tremendous work. She's doing great things, and lives are being changed. I got married under her unction, and I'm 13 years in marriage, and her teachings have gone way deeper than just from the pulpit. They even enter my home, and they've helped me even influence other young men, you know. So if you are going through something and you want to get in touch with Apostle or the podcast and you want to share your story, we will always link you up with the right help, because that's the whole purpose. We want to restore men into fathers. There are many men, but few fathers. And we want to change that. So by the help of God, we are going to have Apostle back on the platform and, share more about the book. But I also encourage, let's buy the book. Buy the book, read through it. It's not a huge or a big book that you can say, it's going to take me years. I mean, if you are going through something and you want to change your life, you can read this book within a week. You're done. And I can promise you, after you read the book, you are going to change your life. So, Apostle, thank you so much for coming on the platform. I know you're busy. You are there, and you've got a lot of work that you're doing. But thank you so much for coming through. I pray that you come through and, share some wisdom and guide us the same way you've guided me to becoming the man that I am today. And I know there are many other men who will attest to this. I so wish that you could come back again and we speak to our viewers.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Is there anything you want to say, perhaps, maybe?
No, I just want to say, let's love one another.
Yes. And you're going to come back, man, share about this love. We need to talk about those things.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. And thank you to our viewers. Please just follow, like, subscribe, share. We want to touch many lives. We don't want to be limited only to South Africa. But if we are to host this podcast elsewhere, we could. But in the meantime, please share, like, subscribe. And, let's keep the ball running. Yes. We are restoring men into fathers. Thank you so much.
God bless.
God bless you.